To hide information that you do not want to see, for example, if you only want to see Common Skills Test number 1, you can select the columns in which you want to hide, right-click with your mouse, and choose Hide. To unhide the columns, select columns in which your data is hidden, right-click, and choose Unhide. You can do the same thing with rows. If I wanted to hide some data, I'm going to select the data I want to hide and choose Hide. To unhide it, I'm going to select the rows around the hidden data, right-click, and choose Unhide. If you see this little dotted line, that means that this row is not going to be printed when I print my information. If I go to print and print preview, my Common Skills Test number 4 is not going to be on that page. I'm going to go to page layout, and I can change my orientation to landscape, and that will allow all my data to be printed on one sheet. I can also adjust my margins. I can do a custom margin and minimize my margins a little bit too, so that way more data is included. You can filter data by adding a filter. For example, if I only want to see Tier 1 students, I'm going to click on the row with my heading names. I'm going to go to my home or my data button and choose filter. And you see these little drop down arrows. I'm going to unselect everything and only choose Tier 1. Now I can only view Tier 1 students. If I only want to view Tier 3 students, I'll choose Tier 3. And then I can either select them all to view them all, or I can take my filter off, and that will allow you to view all. If I wanted to have my students listed by alphabetically by last name, I'm going to select all my data, choose Sort, and I'm going to choose Student Names. So it will sort by student names. You do not want to just select one column. Notice that Lucille Ball has 98, 90, 94, 90. If I'm going to sort notice that this column was the only one that moved. The data did not move with the names. So you have to choose everything so that way when you sort, all your information follows the column in which you want to sort by. If you're going to use similar worksheets more than once, for example, if this is going to be my fall Common Assessment data, and I'm going to have spring Common Assessment data, I can right-click on my mouse and choose to copy my worksheet to where I can right-click again and rename to have fall data. And I can click on my new tab and have spring data. This will save me some time in having to enter and format my whole worksheet again, because I can just select the data that I need cleared, hit delete on my keyboard, and change my heading to spring, and I do not have to redo all the things that I did to format my worksheet the first time. I can just reuse it. One last thing, in the basic Excel tutorial, I'm going to show you how to average a row of numbers. If you wanted an average of the common skills test, I'm going to make my heading, and then in the first cell in which I want to average these four numbers, I'm going to enter equal and then the word average, because I want this cell to equal the average. Open parentheses. Then I'm going to left click the first data cell and drag it to select and include all the data that I want to average. I want to average cells D3 through G3, and that's what is going to average. Once I get done selecting all my cells, I'm going to add a close parentheses, then hit enter on my keyboard. Hit enter on your keyboard after you're done with your formula. Now this averages these four numbers. Now I can go down and do the same thing by hand to all my rows, or I can copy. I'm right clicking on the cell, choosing copy, copy my formula, and I'm going to select the cells in which I want to paste. I'm going to choose this first option, and that pastes the formula. Notice this one, H9, it's averaging D9 through G9. So it's going to average D9 through G9. H13 is going to be averaging D13 through G13. So though I copied it, Excel changed it to reflect the data in the respective rows. If you want whole numbers on your averages instead of seeing the decimal, you can select one cell or select them all. Right-click with your data with your mouse, choose Format Cells, choose Number, and then choose not to have any decimal places. And now you have whole numbers. I can add my border lines. And if I want my title merged over this cell as well, or this column as well, I'm going to select, I'm going to hit merge twice, and now my title is centered over all of my columns.